The general formula for ketone is R C double bond O R dash. In ketone, this carbon as well as the oxygen are sp2 hybridized with bond angle 120 degree. Here in case of the ketone, the R and R dash are the substituent on carbonyl carbon atom, and these substituents may be alkyl or the aryl group. So in case of alkene, you can put the substituent like CH3, you may have C2H5 and so on. Similarly, in case of aryl, you can put the substituent like phenyl, or you may have the substituent in any aromatic compound like I will put as X and so on. Now let us have the ketone just by replacing R and R dash with this substituent. So the first example is CH3, C double bond O, CH3. If you see this example very carefully, you can realize that for ketone there is need to have the minimum 3 carbon atoms like 1, 2 and 3. Then and then only we can write the ketone structure. The common name for this compound is acetone. The common name is acetone. We can write the another structure CH3, C double bond O, CH2, CH3. Here the common name is ethyl, methyl ketone. When we are writing the common names, we have to just take the precautions of the substituents. Here we have methyl group and here we have ethyl group. So in methyl and ethyl, so this E will come first in alphabetical order while comparing with the M. So that's why ethyl will come first and then methyl. So this will become ethyl methyl ketone. So likewise we can have one more example. This is the phenyl ring CH2, C double bond O, CH2, CH3. Here the common name will become benzyl, ethyl, ethyl ketone. Now you can look, we have ethyl substituent as well as the benzyl substituent. So this B in alphabetical order will come first while comparing with this E. So that's why it will become benzyl ethyl ketone. We can also give the IUPAC names to all these ketones, and for that purpose we have to follow the IUPAC rules. These rules are similar to the basic alkanes, but in addition to that we have to follow certain rules regarding the ketones. The first important rule in ketone is we have to select the longest continuous chain, but while selecting the longest continuous chain we have to take precaution that this carbonyl group should get the lowest possible number. So I will write it as a carbonyl group should get the lowest number. So this is R and R dash. Now here you can realize that in this case we can give the numbering like 1, 2 and 3. If you start it from right hand side towards the left hand side like 1, 2 and 3, so in this particular specific example, it doesn't matter because the carbonyl group is coming at position number 2, while giving the numbering from left hand side towards the right hand side or right hand side towards the left hand side. But this rule is very important while we are talking about such type of example. If you start the numbering from left hand side, so this will become 1 and 2. But if we start the numbering from the right hand side towards the left hand side like this, 1, 2 and 3, so I think this carbonyl group is coming at position number 3, and that is against the IUPAC nomenclature. So that's why we have to follow our initial numbering like 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here the next IUPAC rule is again important. So second rule, we have to replace E in case of alkane by, so we have to replace this E by ONE. It means that this E should be replaced by ONE. And the third important again rule is naming the substituent. Naming the substituent. While giving the naming to the substituent, we have to follow the rules as usual in case of alkanes. Now let us have the IUPAC names for these compounds. So we have the first compound like 1, 2, 3. So the IUPAC name will become 2-propanone. Here you can see that E which is present in alkane, it is replaced by ONE. Now here we have the carbonyl group at position number 2. So this will become 2. We have 4 carbon atoms. So this will become butanone. Now here we can start the numbering from left hand side. So this will become 1, 2, 3 and 4. So at position number 1 we have one substituent, that is phenyl ring. So this will become 1 phenyl, butan. So this is butan, 2-one. Similar to such type of ketones, we may have the cyclic ketones like this, and also we can give the names, IUPAC names to these cyclic ketones. So while giving the naming to cyclic ketones, we have to write cyclo as a prefix, and then it will end up with cyclohexanone. We can also write the IUPAC name for diketo compounds. Let's take one example, CH3, C double bond O, CH2, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. Now here we can give the numbering. So we can write the numbering to this diketo compound. This will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We have 6 carbon atoms. So this will become hexane. We have 2 carbonyl groups at position number 2 as well as at position number 5. So this will become 2, 5 dione. IUPAC name for this diketo compound will be hexane 2,5-dione.